you ever so much for providing such a unique insight there. We will, of course, be across all the developments from that meeting in Brussels and as the war between Russia and Ukraine continues. We move on now, and tensions are rising between China and the European Union over trade policies, with strong statements from both sides. Europe's trade chief, Stéphane Séjourné, says export bans only strengthen the EU's determination to diversify. He emphasised that reducing dependence on China is now crucial for the bloc's future. In response, China's Commerce Minister Wang Wentao urged France to help the EU work in the same direction to resolve trade differences. He stressed that disputes in bilateral trade are normal but must be handled through dialogue. Wang also called on the World Trade Organization to tighten supervision over unilateral tariffs and to play a stronger role in global economic governance. The Chinese minister met with his European, French and Canadian counterparts in France for intense talks on trade. He said China remains committed to multilateralism and deeper cooperation. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has weighed in, calling China's Xi Jinping tough and hard to make a deal with. Trump's comments come as legal battles over his own China tariffs continue in US courts. Well, lots of developments there from the past few hours. Joining us to discuss them is Biao Teng, a Chinese affairs expert who is joining us from Washington, DC. Thank you very much, Biao, for joining us. Let's first look at these comments that we've had from President Trump, of course, in the midst of a trade standoff, at points being called a trade war, with tariffs not just with China but several other nations being implemented, redacted, changed, doubled. We've seen it all, but we've now heard from Trump talking about a relationship with Xi and how difficult it is to get a deal done. How significant is this for both the US and China to move past these trade tensions?
First, the tariff war on China can't work. It harms the United States. It harms the Chinese people. So all the experts, economists won't agree this kind of tariff war. And the China-U.S. relations are very, very complicated. It relates to not only economy, but also international geopolitics. So in the first term of Donald Trump, he didn't care about human rights or democratization of China. And he actually isolated the United States from its democratic allies. So this time, it's already messy. It goes ups and down, and it harms the image of the United States. It also jeopardizes the allies internationally. So I think from the past conversations between Xi Jinping and Donald Trump, I think their relation actually will empower the authoritarian system in China, the totalitarian system in China. It won't bring China to a better future.
Yes, and we've heard from the Chinese Minister Wang at the World Trade Organization. He's called for more unilateral tariffs to be tightly scrutinized and looked over, and potentially more influence from the World Trade Organization. Do you think this is China making a call for help, or is this just highlighting the ongoing issues and trying to put pressure on the US amid these tough relationships?
Yeah, so the tariff war also gave pressure to the Chinese government. Now the Chinese authorities are facing a difficult time. They need economic growth. They need international market. because the number one priority of the Chinese Communist Party is to maintain their monopoly of power, maintain their autocratic system, and so China entered the World Trade Organization in 2001, and that made China's economic growth very, very fast. And China has become the uh, number two world economy. Actually, as to PPP, China has become the number one economy in the world. But China remains dictatorial system, and that's not the exception when the United States and other countries allow China to enter the trade organization. They expected China would become a free and democratic country due to the economic growth and the international marketization. But now, another thing is China didn't keep its promise of entering the WTO, and they break the rules and they try to reshape the international economic order. And now they need the World Trade Organization to give pressure to the United States, and that's ridiculous. That won't work. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And to bring an end to our discussion, we know that the Commerce Minister has had conversations on the sidelines with his European counterparts, French counterparts, Canadian counterparts. You mentioned there China is the second largest economy. We know that some of the action from the world's largest economy has ruffled some feathers. How do you think these conversations will be going? And is there a risk that China could ostracize themselves on the economic scale?
Yeah, as I said, the trade war, the Trump policy actually harms both the United States and China. And they need negotiation, they need compromise, and especially from the side of the United States, the approval rate of Donald Trump is dropping down, and American economy is facing a lot of trouble, and this kind of a system is still a democracy. So from this point of view, the the pressure the pressure in the Chinese leaders is lesser than the United States. So I'm afraid both sides needs compromise, needs negotiation, but the Chinese government is able to care less about Chinese people. They actually don't care about the living condition of most Chinese people, and they need political benefits. They need benefits for its own party, the Chinese Communist Party. So I think it will be difficult. It will be tough, especially for the United States.
Tang, thank you ever so much for joining us on the programme and providing